Today, voters in Nevada are heading to caucus sites across the Silver State to cast their votes in the Republican caucus. This comes just 2 days after the state-run primary where former President Trump's name did not appear on the Republican ballot that was mailed to every registered voter. His rival, Nikki Haley, suffering an embarrassing defeat to the, quote, none of these candidates option by nearly double the votes. So what does today's caucus mean for the race? Our political director, Rick Klein, is back with us to break it all down, along with ABC's Zohreen Shah. Rick, let's start with you. Explain to us how today's caucus works and why is it even happening a couple days after the primary? What can we expect?
Yeah, Donald Trump is the reason that it's happening. The Trump forces, after the last election, after the 2016 election, went to a bunch of states and essentially tried to change the rules and wire the system in a way they thought would be advantageous to them. And one of the things they did is in the state of Nevada, they moved to create this new caucus system that would be separate from the state-run primary, which happened 2 days ago. As a consequence, the Republican Party said, look, you have to play in the caucuses or the primaries. You can't do both. Nikki Haley chose the primaries, knowing that they would not be for any delegates and also knowing it would cost a lot of money and that she would almost certainly lose to the MAGA-aligned forces that are gathering today at the caucus sites in Nevada. So that's what's created these two different tracks. The bottom line is Haley lost on Tuesday, and almost certainly Donald Trump will win and win all of Nevada's delegates today. It'll make, of course, the third straight victory for Donald Trump and the third straight big loss for Nikki Haley, even though this one was preordained.
Zohreen, you've been speaking with voters across the country out there on the trail. What are voters there in Nevada saying?
So, Phil, it doesn't matter if it's Nevada or New Hampshire. I mean, voters feel the same about the issues in particular. They're concerned about the border and they're concerned about the economy, and they feel like those two things are linked. But aside from the issues, they have the same thoughts about the election in Nevada. They are totally confused. You heard Rick Klein right there say that there's a primary and a caucus. Haley was only in the primary, as he said, and she lost to none of these candidates. I mean, I heard one Haley supporter say, look, this is like an episode of Veep. This is politics just getting silly here. You can almost imagine Julia Louis-Dreyfus kind of scratching her head. A lot of voters that are out there in Nevada, they've been speaking to Stewart and Kim, and they've been saying they feel like this was almost an effort to embarrass Nikki Haley. They feel like state party leaders, that they are supposed to be neutral, that they've been really pushing people to go out there and vote for none of these candidates in an effort to support Trump and maybe make Haley look bad, and they're incredibly frustrated right now.
Rick, there's been, I think you would agree with this, nothing traditional about the last, I don't know, 6-7 years of politics. But traditionally, by this point, you know, there would be a presumptive nominee. Is this thing over?
Well, you know, look, it's early February, and only 2 states have voted. Nevada will be the third. And U.S. Virgin Islands also, it may be a rare bright spot, even though it's only a couple of delegates that Nikki Haley could potentially win, also happening today. As a functional matter, it may be different than the math. The presumptive nomination is not possessed by anyone. But right now, you look at the 60-point lead almost in national polls. There's not a single poll of any reputation in any state that shows Nikki Haley winning. That includes her home state of South Carolina, which votes 2 weeks from Saturday. So I think by the time we get to South Carolina, by the time we get to Super Tuesday, the writing will be very much on the wall. It may already, in retrospect, we may look back and say it was over before it started, because Donald Trump has been winning wire to wire. He won big in Iowa. He won big in New Hampshire. He's winning with no opposition in Nevada. And the only way to beat him is for someone to actually beat him somewhere. There's no path for that is discernible for Nikki Haley. But, of course, she's going to test that proposition in the coming weeks.
All right, Rick Klein, Zohreen Shah, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.